ESPN's big Monday game last night consisted of the Baylor Bears going into the den of a top 10 defense in the Houston Cougars. Baylor, led by star VJ Edgecombe, expected to pull off a big road win. Could they do it? No. This team lost by 11 points. 11. They should have lost by more. They only had like 46 points 10 minutes into the first quarter, and they stopped there until UH put in their subs in to finish the game. And then at that point, they went on a 13-2 run to get 65. UH won this game. UH won everything in this battle. Baylor still struggles defensively. They're ranked like I think in the 70s in KenPom of defensive efficiency. That's not going to cut it, man. That's not going to cut it in March, unfortunately. I think Baylor has the offensive potential to be a Sweet 16 team. This team is ranked 10 in offensive efficiency in KenPom. You look at these guys. You look at VJ Edgecombe. You look at Omer. You look at Wright. You look at freaking Jeremy Roach, who transferred in from Baylor last year, who beat UH in the Sweet 16. I think in that game he put up like 14, 16 points, somewhere around there. He was a stud. He was a pretty damn good stud at Baylor, man. So they have the offensive power. What's wrong? Injuries, and I think just a little bit inefficiency with the young guys. Edgecombe, while he did put up 14 points, had 5 turnovers. Right? He had 3 turnovers. 15 total team overs for Baylor. Against UH, that's not going to cut it, man. They have a great defense, I get it, but you can't just go into their place and expect to pull off a win and turn the ball over 15 times. Baylor actually shot the ball better than UH. They shot over 50% from 3. They shot, I believe, give me a second, they shot 60% from 3, 9 for 15. UH, on the other hand, shot 41%. They went for 10 to 24. So the UH made more threes and they shot more. UH shot the ball more times than Baylor did as well. Baylor shot 38 times. UH shot 53. That's really the only reason why they won. UH put up more shots. Because Baylor kept turning the freaking ball over, man. Can't do that. Can't do that. Edgecombe, though, besides turning the ball over, he put up a really good game. He had 14 points, 6 rebounds. Sorry. 14 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Omer, 19 points, 5 rebounds. And Wright had 10 points, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 rebounds. A little underrated player, though. Langston Love. Holy crap. 15 points. God damn, man. That's more than freaking Jeremy Roach put up. He put up a measly 6. 6. I think UH saw him and just said, "We gotta shut you down, man. After what you did to us last year, we can't be doing that same shit." Yeah, no. I think UH wanted their revenge against Jeremy Roach this game, shutting him down after the Duke game last year in the Sweet 16. Can we do that? So, what does this mean for Baylor going forward? Well, the injury bug plagues Baylor. Baylor, I think, had their team fully healthy for about 5 minutes their previous game before this one, until their center, can't remember his name for the life of me, but he got injured. He had a season-ending injury. I believe it was an ACL, MCL, one of those, and it's horrible for anyone to go through, man. But unfortunately for Baylor, they just continue with the injury bug, and their defense, like I said, just won't cut it in March, man. I think this team has the potential to go for a Sweet 16 run if they get the right opponents. But going further than that, they're going to need a better defense. They're going to need to play harder on defense, or they can just shoot lights out, kind of like Texas Tech did last game against UH. So UH got a bounce back road win. UH, on the other hand, in this game, they looked pretty okay. First half they struggled, I'd say. I don't think LJ Carr kind of picked it up in the second half, but in the first half he was kind of a dud. I don't know what to make of this team, to be honest with you. UH has the potential to go. I really, really do believe this team could be a potential Final Four team if they get their shit together. They have to get it together, though. If UH doesn't find it down the road in March, because I believe they're 1-4, 1-3 against AP teams. Granted, The teams they play that are in the AP right now are pretty damn good. They played Auburn, who's ranked number one, Bama, who's ranked number two, Tech, who's I believe like 14 right now. They're better than that. I think they're better than that. After what they showed against UH, holy crap, man, that team is good. UH though, I don't know what it is. Um, ESPN commentator last night, Fran Fraschilla, wonderful guy. He said that this team looked better than the team last year with Jamal Shed. I think that's crazy. I think that's crazy. Now, don't get me wrong. This team is still really good, and I think Milos Uzan is an amazing talent. I think Kelvin Sampson is developing him really, really well to fit the the Houston core, the Houston values, all those things. I think Kelvin Sampson is developing him wonderfully. The only issue is you're replacing an NBA point guard in Jamal Shed. This guy was clutch too, man. Like, and he was a leader. Like, he was the team's everything last year. And you saw it happen last year whenever he had to leave the game against Duke. I think last year was UH's year to go to like the Elite Eight, Final Four potentially. I'm not sure if they could beat UConn. I don't think anyone could beat UConn, but I think UH could have gone further down the road in the tournament last year with Jamal Shed beating Duke. Um, so going back on what Fran Fraschilla said, saying this team looks better than the one from last year, I just don't think that's true. I think this team has a lot of flaws that last year's team didn't. I think having a true leader like Jamal Shed on the court at all times was great for Kelvin. He was basically Kelvin's brain on the court. Um, but this team is still good. I think this team still has Elite Eight potential, I'd say. I think the Elite Eight is about as far as I can go. Their ceiling is this is the type of team honestly that I could see losing in like the round of like 32 though. That's another issue. I don't think they will. UH is pretty consistent in getting to the Sweet 16 for the past I don't know how many years now. It's quite a few years now, but pretty consistent getting to the Sweet 16. The only issue is getting past the Sweet 16, only doing it twice. Once in the Final Four year where they went up against Baylor and lost, and then like and then the Elite Eight year, the year after, where they went up against Villanova and lost. Those were the only 2 years they got past the Sweet 16. So if this team gets past the Sweet 16, I'll be happy. But I could also very well see them losing to uh, an underdog team in the round of like 32 or somewhere around there because I just don't know if this team has it in them to do it. Looking at the other box score stuff for U of H, Milos Uzan, man, he's like I said earlier, he's really developing into that point guard. He has shades of Dejan Jarreau from a few years ago, in my opinion. Same build, streaky. I think he's only a sophomore too. This guy, if he can develop, man, he can develop into something special. He can develop in the next great U of H point guard, man. Dejan Jarreau, Galen Robinson, Jamal Shed, all those guys, man. All those guys have gone off and done great things. Um, so really, really excited for his development. Juwan Roberts, LJ Cryer. Um, they looked alright. They're like the little old heads on the block. They're still around. They still do their thing. They're still really, really good. Juwan Roberts is still wonderful. LJ's still good at making a pretty like threes from time to time. But they can only do so much. I think they peaked in their development respectfully. Um, but that doesn't mean they're not good. They're great players. They're great players. Now, one thing I do want to mention is um, Emmanuel Sharp on UH has gone down with an ankle injury the past couple of games, and he didn't start in the second half and of this game in favor for Terrence Arsenault. What does that say? I don't know because this team needs to be fully healthy for them to make a run, and I think Sharp is um, a key player for this team, man. If he can't make threes, I don't know. Like this team, they need him. They need him to be on the court a lot so they can rely on him to make clutch threes and just make threes for the team. Besides LJ, I guess Milos, I guess that's about it. Yeah, Juwan doesn't shoot threes. Joseph doesn't shoot threes. Arsenault, he shoots threes, but he's kind of. Arsenault and Malik Wilson are kind of around the same. So, I just think if that's what it takes for Sharp to get healthy down the road, then I'm perfectly okay with that. Perfectly okay with that. This game's flowers. Give the flowers out to Marlo Suzanne, man. 0 turnovers, dude. What a game from him, man. Um, he's doesn't turn the ball. He used to turn the ball over a few times a game. Now he's down to 0. Come on, man. That's fucking impressive. You can just ignore that stat line, man. Can't ignore it. Great game. Um, out of 10, probably rated. I don't know, out of 5, probably like 3.